What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video. Or in this one, it's time to talk a little bit about quarterbacks, because in this one, as we talk about one of our draft picks, well, we did exactly what I thought we'd do. It was a little later than I thought we were going to do it, but Colts, at the end of the day, they do end up drafting a quarterback, and it's the same quarterback that I imagined we were going to want to grab later in the draft. So, of course, if you enjoy this content, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. I appreciate you guys so much for coming and stopping by for some off-season content. But today, as we get into this, we're going to be talking about, of course, Riley Leonard, who we drafted 6th round, 189th pick overall. And for me, I feel like this was almost a predictable move for the Colts, especially when we make a trade, end up trading back a little bit. We get an extra pick in that 6th round. We had back-to-back picks, one of which being Riley Leonard. And when we got both of the mock drafts that I had us drafting Riley Leonard, we made trades at some point, traded back, and got extra picks. Every time we drafted a quarterback in my mock drafts is because we got extra picks. So it's nice to see that I when I say I know Chris Ballard, I'm telling you I know how he operates, right? So he goes, gets extra picks, ends up getting a quarterback in the 6th round. Again, and it was later than I thought. I think both of my mock drafts, I think we had him going in the 5th. But nonetheless, Riley Leonard ends up going 6th round. This is a guy that, again, it makes sense because of the skill set that he presents, right? With his athletic ability, right? People talk about Daniel Jones, right? One of his nicknames is Vanilla Vic, and Riley Leonard is that as well. Like, we have our quarterback room is ridiculously athletic for how it looks. It is very athletic. And so coming into this and looking at Riley Leonard, like surprising athleticism, especially when you look at his face, right? He's one of those guys, like, almost has like a really punchable face. And but I mean, good guy. I watched Gruden's QB Camp. Came away, there were a couple quarterbacks I came away really impressed with after the quarterback camps, which was Riley Leonard and Will Howard. Those guys, I think, could go into the NFL and are going to be able to make it happen because they have it between the ears, right? What's happening in their mind, the way they see the game, is something that I thought was impressive, right? Because a lot of these guys, a lot of quarterbacks coming in, most of the issue ends up between the ears. They can't process it quick enough on the field to be a good quarterback. They can't remember the offense enough, right? And I feel like that's less an issue, but that is a thing that does happen. I think there are guys that can't grasp the playbook and the intricate details, right? Like, you know, in college, not every college team has pro level coaches at any point. So you're looking at these college programs that are still, barely just a step up from like high school terminology, high school knowledge of the game, and then going into the NFL, it's like trying to drink water from a fire hydrant, right? So at the end of the day, Riley Leonard is a guy that, coming out of the Gruden QB camps, it's very clear that between the ears, he has the brain to be able to make it work. I have no question about it. That he's going to be able to pick up the terminology. He's going to be able to pick up the cadences and the things that he needs to from that aspect to be good on the field. Now, of course, it all comes down to physical and the things that he needs to work on to really come out and be better and to develop into the player that he needs to. And this is a guy that, I mean, when you talk about, as we continue to talk about the draft by Chris Ballard, I mean, the experience that a lot of these guys have is incredible. And for Riley Leonard, this is another guy, plenty of experience in college, right? His freshman year, plays in 7 games, not a whole lot. Ends up with only 37 completions, 62 attempts, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, right? Not a whole lot going on there. But then in 2022, he plays in 13 games. He goes 250 for 392, which is just under 64%. He has just under 3,000 yards at 29.67, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So good season in his first full year starting. Like really a good season in 2022. 2023 cut short. He only plays in 7 games. His completion percentage a bit down, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So 2023, even when he was there, not incredible. And then when you look at 2024, the year that he transferred, he goes to Notre Dame. And of course, in this one, he ends up leading Notre Dame to a national championship. So he goes to Duke. He makes Duke better, which is one note a lot of people have said, like, hey, this is a guy that for everything you can say about him, like he elevates the places he goes to. He goes to Duke. He makes Duke relevant in football. He goes to Notre Dame, takes Notre Dame back to the national championship. They haven't been relevant in a long time. Notre Dame hasn't been relevant for a long time. And Riley Leonard goes there and is able to, they get better as the year goes on. And then they end up going to a national championship. So because of the format in college now, he played in 16 games. So he basically just played an NFL regular season, right? And his numbers were 269 for 403, which was a career high 66.7% completion percentage. He had 2,861 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in the year with Notre Dame. But again, learning a new offense, like coming into it, Notre Dame definitely a little up and down roller coaster-ish up until the end of the season when they really started to put it together and ascend to the national championship. But again, Riley Leonard, a good couple seasons in college, but obviously some things that need to be worked on. Now, for every positive thing you can say about him, right? All the experience that he has, the good seasons that he had, going to a national championship, which of course is incredible. But of course, mechanically, there are things he's going to need to work on. But it's like the things that he needs to work on, like you can coach, which again, as we go through these draft videos, is a trait that I like. If what you need to work on can be coached, I'm good with the pick. Right? If you got to work on things that can't be coached, it's going to be a problem, right? Those intangibles, you got to have them. And I think Chris Ballard did a good job with that this year, where all these guys are guys that, like, what they need to work on, we can work on it. The staff is going to be able to work on it with these guys once they get their hands on them. So, again, feel good overall about the pick, about going and getting Riley Leonard. This is a guy that if it can't work out with Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, which honestly would be unfortunate. Like, I don't want to have to see Riley Leonard be the Colts quarterback. Let's just say that. I would like Anthony Richardson to work out. I think what he possesses is very rare, and I want him to work out. But Riley Leonard, like, again, what he needs to work on, you can coach. And so I think coming in with the athleticism that he possesses, with what he can do with the ball, like, there's a little Carson Wentz in him. But as long as he continues to mature, and you continue to just work with him from that regard, like, I think Riley Leonard at the end of the day could be a guy that comes in and is able to find success in the NFL. And if it's not with us, one day I imagine it'll be with somebody. Now, of course, because we have him, there's a chance he's here for 4 years and isn't a starting quarterback till he's 28 years old. But nonetheless, again, came away really impressed through Gruden's quarterback camps with Will Howard and Riley Leonard. I mocked us to get Riley Leonard a couple times. What do you know? We end up with Riley Leonard after gaining an extra pick in the draft. So, again, I feel fine with the pick. I think it was good to go into the draft with as many quarterbacks were in this one, go into the draft and gain competition, right? Next year, a lot of quarterbacks in next year's draft. And people are talking about, more high-end talent, right? And we're in one of the conversations we're going to have soon is about exactly that. So, coming into this, I expect more competition to happen in the quarterback room, especially depending on what happens this year, right? Is going to weigh heavily into what we do in the future and what happens with Riley Leonard, right? Is this one of Ballard's last draft picks, or are we able to figure it out? Everybody keeps their jobs. Anthony's the quarterback for the Colts for the foreseeable future. A couple different avenues we could take. So you let me know your thoughts here on the Riley Leonard pick, what it means for Anthony Richardson, what it means for Riley Leonard, what it means for the Colts long term, and Chris Ballard. You let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section. Love hearing from you guys. And of course, make sure if you enjoy the content to be hitting that like button. Lets me know what you guys are into, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime there's any content dropping on this channel. Of course, appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.